Old Alabama Gardener here, and in this video I'm going to show you how I grow green or bell peppers, and then at the end of it we'll do a taste test. This variety is called California Wonder. It's a pretty common green or bell pepper, and I bought this off of a seed rack. To help these pepper seeds get started sprouting, I have put them in a wet paper towel inside a Ziploc bag, and as you'll see in a moment, I also put them under a heat light inside the house. Once the pepper seeds have started sprouting, I will transfer them into these soil blocks that you see me making here. Now this is called a 10-20 tray. It's a standard seedling type tray, and it will hold 50 of the soil blocks that I make. Now here I have unfolded the paper towel, and I've picked up one tiny pepper seed, and you can see the little white sprout on it. So it's time to move it into the soil blocks. Now remember, this is the 11th February, so we want to bring them in the house, put them under grow lights, because it's still February, cold outside. Now it's April, warm outside. We need to get the plants into bigger pots so they can get hardened off, being accustomed to be outside and ready to go in the ground. Now notice that this pot I had some white granular things on top of the soil there, and that is about a half of a tablespoon of triple 13 commercial fertilizer. Mix that fertilizer in with the soil. You never want to set the roots of a plant directly on a commercial fertilizer because it will burn the roots. Now it is true that I'm late in getting these set in the ground. It's already near the end of April, but no problem, we'll get it done. Now I'm going to set about 5 of these plants out here in what I call the kitchen garden. Kitchen garden is just right out the back door where we can run out there and grab something quick if we're making something and we need it from the garden. Now I've already dug the holes. They're about 1 shovel deep, and we're ready to get started planting. Anytime I'm planting a plant, I gather all of the materials that I need for that planting. I have 2 worm boxes, so one year I will be harvesting out of one worm box while we're adding stuff to the other worm box, and then the next year there'll be a reverse. So here you see worm castings that are totally broken down and ready for use. I raise rabbits, and one of the best, if not the absolute best, manure that you can get for your garden is those little rabbit pellets. These are some other things that I add to the planting hole, and I will mention them as I'm actually putting them in the hole. The first thing you see me putting in the hole is the worm castings. I'm putting in 2 double handfuls. I would say that's probably pretty close to a quart. Next, I'm adding Epsom salt. I imagine that's probably about a tablespoon and a half maybe. Next, I'm going to put in some triple 13, which is nothing more than a balanced commercial fertilizer, probably about a tablespoon. Then next, I'm adding a handful of azomite. This is minerals. Now I kind of stir it all around, mix it around down in there. I don't want that commercial fertilizer to be touching the roots. And I'm ready now to set the plant into the hole. I'm going to fill the hole about halfway up the root ball of that plant. And then I'm going to add some more things. Now I'm adding some more rabbit manure, rabbit pellets. And I'm putting them up there because there's going to be a lot of side roots that come out from that plant. Those will be feeder roots, and they need to get into something good. Now I'm going to add the eggshell powder and vinegar mixture in that little red cup, and I'll dip the cup in some water, pour that around just to rinse the rest of the powder out of the cup, and then I'm going to continue filling that hole up. Now there will be some area that's not filled because that's going to be a place to hold water. Now I take a plain old black trash bag and split it lengthwise so I get a long strip, and I'm going to pull that around each of the pepper plants. What this black plastic does is, in the early spring, when the ground might still be cold, that ground is going to warm up underneath that black plastic. And of course, peppers like a warm soil, so that's going to help them. And then the second thing it's going to do is it's going to keep weeds and grass from growing right around the pepper plants. And then lastly, it's going to conserve moisture. Although I will water right in that on top of that plastic, it'll run down in and around the plant, holding that moisture. Then, the last thing I do is I set a wire cage around the plant, because these plants are going to get large. They're going to have a lot of pepper on them, and the limbs of it will get heavy. And if they don't have some kind of support, such as this cage, they will break, and therefore you lose some of your peppers. So here's our pepper plants, and as you can see, they have grown quite well. And I might add, there was nothing more in the way of fertilizer added to these plants. Now notice that you don't see any spotted bacterial disease on the leaves. So obviously that's a good thing. I'm going to try to count how many peppers are just in this little bit of area right here. So there's one over there. Here's one here. So that's 2. Here's a little one, 3. There's one, 4. There's one over there, 5. There's another one up there that's 6. There's another one down there, so that's 7. So there's 3 over there on that limb. 1 right there on that limb. Makes 4, and then there's 3 more on this limb with a tiny one just falling off right there. So there's about 8 peppers on that limb there. Now let's look down in that plant. Way down there is what I'm looking for. Down where this red one is, I'm gonna pick it. Now you talk about something good to eat. That pepper right there is delicious. Not a single thing wrong with it. Look at the size of that pepper right there. And look at the size of that pepper right there. Look at the peppers in there. There's about 3 over there. 1, 2, 3, 4. A lot of peppers. I'm looking for a good, nice, big pepper to pick, take it in the house, and I'm going to cook something with it. And I think I got my eye on that one right there. Looks like it's setting right at 10 ounces. So more than a half a pound. There's 8 ounces. There's 12. So 10, more than a half a pound for that pepper. 10 ounces. So all I'm doing here is just opening it up, cutting the core out, removing all the seeds, getting ready to stuff it. Now this is a piece of chicken thigh that I have fried, seasoned it up well and fried it, and I'm going to slice it, or dice it if you will, up, and we'll use it as part of our stuffing in this pepper. This is a meat salts that I make up. It's got a little bit of hamburger in it, mushrooms, onions, tomatoes, tomato salts that I make up from my own homegrown tomatoes. So now I'm just going to fill this pepper up with this mixture that I've made up. And what we're going to do then is we'll put it in the oven and we'll bake it. I decided to put a couple small slices of mozzarella cheese on top. That's what you see melted there. So here's our big green bell pepper that you saw me pick out there a few minutes ago. And this is what I call a meat salts. It's got tomatoes and onions and peppers in it, things. So first let's give it a taste test, and I'm just going to taste the green pepper itself right now. That's good. That's got a great flavor. Wow, that's good. Now then, let's get us a little bit of the meat salts. And we'll get a little bit of the pepper too. That's good stuff. I have some other videos on how to make the meat salts and things like that. But you know what I'm going to say next? I wish I could share this with you. I wish you could just have one little bite of this so you would know how good it is. Can't do it. You got to get out there in the garden, grow your own peppers, make your own meat salts, make your own stuffed peppers as I got here. Delicious. Good old homegrown country food. The pepper's sweet and juicy. So good.